As we mentioned, summertime sleeping in is come to an end today because it's the first day of school for APS. About 87,000 students are set to return to class this morning, but the district still needs to hire 170 more teachers. A majority of these are open positions in special education. So you know, about 6,300 teachers work at APS schools throughout the area.
Right, and with the school year kicking off, you'll want to make sure your kids are all set when it comes to immunizations. So the New Mexico Department of Health is hosting a back-to-school immunization program this morning. Head on over to the Midtown Public Health Office on Wellesley for free shots. All you have to do is bring a copy of your child's shot record and Medicaid or private health insurance card if you have one. That is going on from 8 to 11 this morning. Then the state is also hosting a clinic in Santa Fe tomorrow and Friday. That will be at the Santa Fe Public Health Office. Hours for that are going to happen from 8 to noon and then again from 1 to 4. And in McKinley County, clinics will go through this Friday, the 15th, from 8:30 to 5. They will be at 1919 College Drive in Gallup. These clinics are being hosted by the State Department of Health, the New Mexico Immunization Coalition, and the New Mexico Primary Care Association. They're free for all children 18 years old and younger.
A new evaluation finds the state child welfare agency is lagging behind when it comes to setting up home visit services. According to the Albuquerque Journal, 2 years after the state got more than $2.5 million in federal funding to set up pilot sites, only 2 of the 4 sites are actually up and running. The money allows for sites in Albuquerque's South Valley, as well as Luna, Quay, and McKinley counties. The original plan would have had the sites operating by September of 2012, but a representative with Children, Youth, and Families says state laws are causing delays for choosing contractors.
The 2 people with Marcos Delgado, before he shot and killed himself, could appear before a judge today. Police say Rafael Reza and Josephine Bailey have been arrested and charged with harboring a fugitive. Reza remains behind bars and Bailey has bonded out. Now, police say the 2 were in an SUV seen from APD's helicopter here with Delgado on Monday night as undercover detectives followed them near 12th and Candelaria. They say Delgado jumped out and detectives say he fired a rifle at them.
Officers took cover. They did not return any rounds at all. Officers did not fire any of their weapons at all.
Police say Delgado then took off running and later killed himself in the street. Now, Delgado had been on the run since Friday. That is when police say he killed his ex-girlfriend and shot 3 others, including a pregnant woman near Vassar and Candelaria.
It's been 6 years now since a worker at a Sonic in Albuquerque was killed, and detectives are still no closer to finding who did it, and the man's family is still quite desperate for answers and closure.
I cannot believe that there was not a single one that saw what happened. I would like for someone to come forth and be brave about it and tell me what they know.
Arthur Deweese here was taking out the trash at the Sonic on San Pedro in Central in the morning of August 11th, 2008 when he was shot and killed. Police have never identified a suspect and say it looks like it is a random murder. It's a frustrating reality for Deweese's widow.
6 years of hell has gone by for me because I have no closure, no reason why he was killed. And all I can say is to the murderer that you may think you got away with it, but you will pay for it somehow.
Every week, Nancy there leaves flowers at a memorial for her husband, reminding people of the crime. There is a reward for information leading to an arrest and a conviction in the case. Please call Crime Stoppers if you know anything. The number is 843-STOP. Elizabeth?
An Albuquerque man has spent his time and money trying to restore a historic home from the heyday of the rail yards, but he says thieves are making it especially difficult. Jim Maddox owns this Victorian-style house in the Huning Highlands neighborhood east of downtown. Now, he's trying to preserve its look from original hand-carved wood frames to the home's tower. The house has captured people's attention, including filmmakers.
There was a movie filmed here, Suspect Zero, and when they filmed it, they brought so much stuff in here, and they had this attic full of stuff.
Now, over the last few weeks, crooks have been stealing from the house, getting away with about $5,000 worth of stuff, including a 1930s Chambers range. Maddox says it weighs up to 1,200 pounds, and Would have taken at least 2 people to move it. If you happen to see the range, call police.
The federal government's moving up the timetable on reopening WIP. Initial reports show it could take as long as 3 years. Now the Department of Energy wants to restart some operations within the next 18 months and establish a timeline for reopening by the end of next month.
My message to them is we're going to stick together. You stick with us, we stick with you, and we'll get the job done. You know, I can't stand here and say that there won't be some bumps in the road on that.
Department of Energy Secretary Ernest Moniz and state leaders visited WIP yesterday. Before the nuclear waste repository can reopen, the department needs to figure out exactly what caused the leak there. Investigators know it started in a barrel of waste from Los Alamos National Lab, but scientists are still figuring out exactly what caused that. The leak highlighted bigger problems that now must be addressed. On top of that, there's an initial report on the accident that found there was a lack of oversight at the plant and an erosion of safety. Workers at WIP are still on the job and busy with maintenance, site safety, and recovery plans. Well, a big piece of Albuquerque's history is getting a designation to match it. The state has labeled the Borealis Rail Yards a historic district. The site is a hit with movie makers who have given it a new life. It's been in a lot of feature films over the years. Looks like maybe Terminator, Gamers. The rail yards are there. Their shops and park are planned too. The state is also asking the federal government to put the rail yards on the National Register of Historic Places.
Well, if you are in the market for buying a shopping center, and who isn't, right? Santa Fe has 2 of them up for sale, and they are on the 2 busiest streets in town. The Plaza del Sol Center near the Smiths off of St. Michael's Drive and the Garden Schwartz Shopping Center off of Cerrillos Road near the Big 5 are both listed for sale. Now, according to Albuquerque Business First, the owners are currently taking offers instead of setting an exact price. They say it's rare that retail properties like this change hands and could bring in some interesting new tenants.